Happy Monday, and you know what time it is. Time for Monday Morning with Mo. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Struggling a little bit this morning. Little tired over here, but hey, we still show up. We still do the show. Thanks as always for joining us. If it is your first time joining us, this is what we like to call Monday Morning with Mo. You come join us every Monday morning, 8 a.m. We answer some legal questions for you for free. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments below. Shoot us an email at ask@whitlaw.com or leave us a voicemail, 407-536-6737. Once again, I forgot to check the voicemail line, but I don't think we have any this week. I'll do that while I multitask over here. But hope you guys had a good weekend. We just kind of hung out around the house, nothing too exciting, and got a trial this week for this week and next week, so that's going to be loads of fun. So be a little busy with that. Might not make it on the News Junkie on Friday, unfortunately, because of that, but we'll make do one way or another. Then we're supposed to do that. If you join us on Friday, if you don't know, usually on Fridays we do the Soul Brother Kevin show out of Tampa on 102.5 The Bone. We broadcast it here live on Facebook and YouTube live as well. And so we went to log in on Friday, kept calling the line, and no one was picking up. So I texted Kevin, said, "Hey, what's going on, guys? You on the air tonight, or what's going on?" Responds back that I guess most of the show has COVID. So, needless to say, they didn't have a show, so probably be off the air there for a little while until they come back. Hopefully everyone's doing well, feeling better, and they'll be back in action in no time. But, I did mention before that we were planning to do another comedy show. If you don't know, last year we did the COVID Comedy Jam. It was a virtual online comedy show where you could watch it on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and some other places. Aired live. Had a bunch of local comedians, had some bigger name comedians. Excuse me. And we were going to do it again this year, but do it live. We'd actually booked the Abbey in downtown Orlando to do it. And we just had, we were about to sign a contract with a comedian to headline it, Tom Papa, if you're familiar with him at all. And, but then the other day, last week actually, we were kind of debating, should we still do the show live? Should we try to do it virtually again? So if you have any feedback, drop it in the comments. I'd be curious to know, would you guys go to a live comedy show today with COVID kind of the resurgence coming back? And how would you guys feel about that? The problem with doing it virtually again is, first of all, comedy doesn't really translate as well when there's no audience. But also a lot of comedians, they don't want their content out there. Like, for example, one of the guys, it wasn't Tom Papa, but one of the guys we were talking to, who we almost got, is working on a Netflix special. So the content we were going to get was going to be on his Netflix special. Well, he doesn't want to blow that content on, being online through our event when he's probably going to sell it to Netflix for a lot more money. So it makes sense why they don't want to do it that way. But anyways, give me your feedback. I'd be curious to know, would you guys come out to a live show or not? And, probably this week we'll make a decision here as to what we're going to do. If we're going to try to do it virtually, do it live, or maybe just not do it at all and do it next year. So give me some feedback. Always appreciate it. And why you actually show up for this is to get some legal questions answered. So let's jump into that. So first up this morning we have Jesse. Jesse says, and I've talked to Jesse a few times, so as you know, that's why I've talked to Jesse a few times, my ex abandoned me in 2018, hasn't contributed to the house we own since September of 2018. Recently I had to short sell the house. We walked away with $3,000. I was told to sign a paper to release the funds and also how the money should be distributed. Me thinking my ex wouldn't take half, thinking she would do the right thing, I told the title company to let her decide. She took half. I could have told you that was coming. Just got done with mediation, and she refuses to pay me $1,500. I'm assuming that's a divorce mediation. So 1, do you think a judge would take her side? And 2, do you think I might be able to get spousal support at this point? So, as part of any divorce, anything you acquire during the divorce, whether it's an asset or liability, is split 50-50. So you short sold the house, theoretically your profit, lost another light back there. I should really charge those things. Um, the profit, I know it's a short sale, but the profit was 3 grand. So in a normal divorce scenario, that would be split 50-50. The question becomes, is there something to offset it? From an ethical standpoint, I understand you think you should be entitled to 3,000 because she didn't contribute. You kind of got stuck with everything. Makes sense. But from a legal standpoint, if that's the only asset, it would be split 50-50. The question becomes, is there another liability that offsets that? Did you have to pay for something on the home? Did you have to pay, some sort of repair cost to get the home ready for it to be sold, or whatever it may be? Is there something that would offset that? And so that's what the judge is going to look at. They're basically going to take all the assets you're receiving, all the liabilities you're receiving, all the assets she's receiving, all the liabilities she's receiving, put them in a column, and they're going to add it up. And the number at the bottom of the column is supposed to kind of be as equal as possible. So if there's other liabilities that you're incurring that would offset her from getting that $1,500, then you can make that argument. But see, we need a little bit more of the global picture here to be able to kind of answer that question. But if that is strictly the only asset that you guys have, if you have absolutely nothing else, then most likely it would be split 50-50. Now, you mentioned spousal support. So spousal support is based on need and ability to pay. Do you have a need for spousal support? And does the other party have the ability to pay to satisfy some or all of that need? So, typically if your incomes are the same or pretty similar, not going to get spousal support. If one party is making a lot more than the other, then it may be a spousal support case. So, again, I would need some more information there to be able to answer that question for you. So, I'll reach back out to you, Jesse, see if we can get some more information and hopefully help you out with that one. So, as always, thank you for the questions. If you guys have any questions, like I said, drop them in the comments. Shoot us an email, ask@dewhittlaw.com, or leave us a voicemail. Is the number down here? Maybe not. Oh, there it is, yeah. Right there. 407-536-6737. Almost didn't think that was on the screen there. Leave us a voicemail. Those are always a lot of fun. And appreciate you guys doing that. Next up, we have Samantha. Samantha says, I work as a pizza delivery driver. I was delivering pizzas when I fell on a piece of concrete that was elevated about 5 inches. It was sticking up out of the driveway. Can't talk this morning. And it was completely dark. My back and hips are killing me. I won't be able to work or even walk long distances for a while, as it's extremely painful. I don't want to file a workers' compensation claim, as I don't want to cause problems with my employer, even though I will be out of work for a bit. Is there anything that you can do for me? Okay, so we've talked about this before, but if you're injured on the job, no matter whose fault it is, if it's your own fault, somebody else's fault, if you're injured while working, you have a workers' compensation claim, and that's basically to pay for your medical treatment since you incurred the injury on the job. Samantha doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to get the employer involved. She doesn't want to go after that. So the only other avenue here would be to look at the home where you were delivering the pizza, where you fell on the concrete that was elevated 5 inches, and go after their homeowner's insurance. So in order to do that, we'd have to get a little more information, take a look at the property, take a look at what you tripped on, and see if there might be a claim there. So if they were negligent in maintaining their driveway, 5 inches is good bit of unevenness in the concrete there. So we want to look at how long has it been there for, how large is it open and obvious, things of that nature. And so depending on what we discover, you may have a claim against the homeowner for basically failing to maintain their driveway, and then you becoming injured, walking up their driveway to deliver that pizza. So there absolutely is something we could possibly do for you. But the most important thing here really is you're in a lot of pain. You don't really seem to know what's going on yet, and you definitely need to get in with a doctor. Get checked out. Make sure there's nothing more serious going on here. Given that level of pain, I'm suspecting that there probably is. You want to make sure that you get in for an x-ray, get in for an MRI, see the doctor, document the injuries, and get help for those injuries. So that's the main thing, and then we can certainly help you on the legal side and see if there's a claim there for you to pursue. So, as always, thank you for the questions, Samantha, and keep them coming. We've got a lot of questions this week. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of time this morning because it is a pretty busy week, so we'll only do one more here. Let's see, which one should we do? Yeah, we'll do another personal injury one. We get a ton of family law ones, so I try to balance it out for you guys. All right, so this is from Charlie. Charlie says, I was T-boned in my commercial work vehicle from another commercial vehicle while they ran a red light and were on the phone and were texting on the phone. All right, well, don't text and drive. We all know that. It severely injured my back and took place back in February of 2020. I had a workers' comp case. Oh, there we go. Workers' comp again. I had a workers' comp case, and they did everything they could and finished physical therapy. I'm still having pain that will never go away, all back pain, lower back, and hip pain. I never received a settlement, only the workers' comp claim, and no claim was ever set up against the at-fault driver. Is there anything I can do about this since it's been over a year now? So very odd to me that you went through the whole workers' comp process, but nobody ever set up a negligence claim against the at-fault driver, because usually those cases kind of work hand in hand. And usually that's the best way to work them, is to do it hand in hand and having the workers' comp attorney talk to the negligence attorney and them kind of working the case together. Here that wasn't done, but that doesn't mean that you don't have a claim. So it happened in February 2020, year and a half ago, be 2 years before you know it. In Florida, we have a 4-year statute of limitations on negligence claims. So you're still well within that statute of limitations. And you've also gone to the doctor to document all your injuries throughout the case. So you're in pretty good shape in that sense. But you definitely want to have an attorney look into it sooner rather than later. Cases don't get better with age. The longer they sit around, typically the worse they get. Evidence disappears. It's just not good in general. So you want to get the claim set up. Go ahead, start ordering those medical records and see what's going on there. Number one, it's a commercial policy, so the at-fault driver should have insurance. But hey, I've seen before where they don't, so you want to definitely make sure that there's coverage there. But yeah, you're still within statute of limitations. Can absolutely bring a claim. Anyone out there, if you're ever injured on the job, definitely have your workers' comp attorney and your negligence attorney work together. In this case, that didn't happen, but that doesn't mean that Charlie's completely out of luck. We can certainly still help him with that. So, hope that answers your question, Charlie. Everybody out there, thanks as always for joining us. I don't know what else I have to say to you this morning, but thank you. I appreciate you watching. If you need anything, let me know. DM me on Facebook, email me, text me on the texting service if you have that. Get a hold of us if you need us. We're here to help you. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Stay safe out there, and hopefully I will see you on Friday for the Soul Brother Kevin show. If they're back in action, hopefully everybody's feeling better. But otherwise, I'll see you next week for another episode of Monday Morning with Mo. Take care, everybody.